Welcome to the fascinating world of traffic signals. We just received a call that a traffic light on a span wire intersection is flying around all kinds of crazy due to high winds. Well, right now it is a little bit windy, but we have a storm expected tomorrow that's going to bring winds over 80 miles per hour. So let's get out to that traffic light and see if we can resolve that issue. First things first, let's go ahead and get our tools and let's get them swapped over towards this bucket truck. And then I should have everything in this tool bag that we would need to fix one light. But if it's multiple, then I'll go to the store and pick up some more hardware. And I can truly take out at least 15 pounds worth of crap in this tool bag. Let it pile up too long. Need to go ahead and organize that. But let's take care of this maintenance call first. As we should be all set and ready to go. And shout out, this is a brand new bucket truck. Eco mode, heck no, let's turn that off. We want to be able to go fast, baby. Seat belts on, safety first. You think this thing has CarPlay? Some non-copyrighted music, let's do it. Oh, enable CarPlay on a bucket truck? Dude, this is futuristic. Where is this other stuff coming from? Wireless CarPlay too. That's nicer than my truck. This thing's nicer than mine. Let's get out of here though.
I sit around and ponder emotions in my head. I give up, no matter what I do, I'm not here, no. I try so hard to stop, I give in to every single bad temptation. And I just wanna feel like a good person, a good person. When I wake every single morning now, I give up. No matter what I do, I give up. I give up.
This next intersection coming up right now is the culprit, is the reason for the phone call. And they said it's the westbound approach, which I'm in the westbound approach. And I can already see from here, y'all probably cannot just yet, but I'll give y'all a very good view of it and why one of these 3-section heads over here pointing at it now is flopping around pretty bad. You can tell on the bottom that the bracket that's supposed to be mounted to the signal head and tethered down to the span wire is disconnected. So we need to get pulled up. Let's get our harness on before we get into the road. Then we'll get into the road and shut down one of these left turn lanes and get backed up into it. And let's go get that resolved. All right, I like to get as prepped up as possible before actually shutting down any vehicle movement. We're just gonna shut down one of these 2 left turn lanes, probably that further far left one over there. And we should be able to reach with no issues that 3-section head where you see the bottom is disconnected. So let me get my harness on, let me get my tools set up, and let's get up there in the air. This one's Velcro. I ain't never seen that before. A little different. This thing's a little fancy new truck, fancy new safety harness. Been tied on the safety harness. Got some cones, but I'm gonna get pulled out of here first, get into the traffic, and then back up to the approach, and then get up there and resolve that light. Not hit no motorcycles or nobody like that. I'm just gonna get in the flow of traffic. Wait on a couple greens. God, they are just spacing it out perfectly for me not to be able to get into the traffic. Let's not hit a vehicle now. We're just waiting on red lights. Come on now, give me a green. Oh, we got a green arrow, guys. Now the funny part is if anybody gets in front of me and wants to go through this approach at the same time, well, I hope they miss the light because I'm stopping right there at the stop bar. Make sure I don't hit one of these bollard poles. This dude right here thinking, oh man, maybe he's just being funny and wanting to drive a whole bucket truck in reverse. Crazy people. Pretty much underneath it. It didn't part. Now what we need, PTO is on. Got some intercom system on this too. I think that's all we need to do for the bucket to work. First, throw out some barrel cones. Man, look at them go. They're already just too used to the road work around here. Ain't none of them trying to pull up on top of my truck. First time in this bucket, so bear with me on the controls, because I'm not too sure which ones each do. All right, there we go. Twisting the handle. And by a new boom handle, new to me, that's for sure. I ain't used one like this yet, but just like most bucket trucks, typically you turn it to where you want to go and it works. Fun one to do in the wind that we currently have, but ain't too bad. Going out, I imagine we'll extend the boom, maybe. Yep, it's kind of slow. It's almost like a delay. So you can see what came undone from the light. These lights, they do a lot better when they have the tri-stud. These single studs, you can see over on that Type 3, this head, and I'll show you a better example. I'll explain it in a minute. But it's a lot better to use the tri-stud bottoms than the single stud. But the big washer should be in the bottom here, which it is. So I can open up this head, get it on there, get it all tightened down, and should be good in the weather. Pretty much only over the lane that we're taking up. A hair on this guy, but I ain't super concerned about that. A lot of y'all are, because y'all come from places where you have to shut down lanes to do any kind of work. We just have to shut down the lanes of the road work that we're currently taking up on the approaches in Mississippi. So the only thing I'm watching out for is this washer. I don't want it to fall out because I don't have another one with me. Now, easy repair. Stick this guy up here. I say easy repair. Let me get my package out real quick that has some extra hardware. Or I should have an extra lock washer and nuts somewhere. Got a little bit. I hope this is the right size. I'm pretty sure it is. Verify it. Oh yeah, threads on nice and easy. Now, span mounted stuff, high winds, shakes a lot. You need to have lock washers. Absolutely no exceptions to it. Have some lock washers. I think the reason why we're having so many failures, I say so many, it's just been happening more often than it should, is because either our guys are not tightening these down all the way, maybe they're dropping the lock washers and not using them, but in my opinion, it's because we're using single studded brackets instead of a tri-stud bracket. Now let's maneuver this light over. Washer on. Probably hard for y'all to see. Lock washer on. Let's get the nut going on it. But as you tighten that up, you want to be watching and making sure that these go in the grips together and it's not twisted a little bit. There's little grooves on this guy, and if you're on top of the grooves on each, say it moves a lot because of the wind and it slides into the grooves, well, now your bolt's a little loose. This lock washer might be loose, and all the vibrations will loosen that bad boy right on up and take it out. And now we got to come back out here and tighten the guy down. Go ahead and tighten this stud down. Get it nice and tight. Make sure we're good on our grooves, which we are. Good. Now we can close up this red light, well, the green to the red light. And the signal head should be good for the expected windstorm coming this weekend. While I'm here on this approach, I just want to check extra signals. We're gonna open up this guy as well. Seems like it's all tight, but I want to check and see if this one's a tri-stud and maybe show y'all a good example. I know y'all are probably sideways looking in. All right, and there you go. Let me take you off my head real quick. All right, guys, so y'all seen the single stud one that we worked over there on that indication light over here? Well, this is what I'm talking about. The typical ones are these tri-studs. They typically come with like mast arm signal heads more, but tri-stud with the washer, you tighten down. You got 3 compared to 1. That ought to hold. If 1 loosens up, you still got 2 more to hold it. It's redundant. It works. I think a lot of the issues that we're having is that it's a single stud and maybe our guys are leaving it a little bit loose, but when they do, it vibrates off that nut and the whole stud pops out. Luckily, that big fender washer can't fly out at the same time. But let me get this signal head closed back up, and you know, we got that job and repair done. Let's land the truck, pick up our cones, and get out the road. Let's go ahead and get landed back on our bucket truck. However they consider it, that is new sounding. But bucket truck's landed. We're good to go. That signal head looks good. That one looks good. That one looks good. All the other heads at this intersection, one's a little crooked, but they all look good, nice and tight, and they should manage pretty well during the windstorm. I really dislike the position of this door right here. Wish they could have mounted all this on the other side and positioned the door to enter into the bucket from the side of the steps you would actually be coming up. I don't have a lot of clearance, and its swing is the way you would want to go. Maybe if this swung out the other way, it wouldn't be any kind of issue either. But how this is, I really don't love it. Either or, job well done. It performed like it should. It's a good bucket truck to me, as long as it cranked up and ran. Ooh, cones picked up. Now, I'm gonna leave the taper for last. What happens a lot here is people do what that Mercedes driver just did and want to jump back in, and then they block me in from being able to leave, just like that Nissan Altima. They can't figure out what they're doing. Now, it's the best way to handle this. We're gonna pull the truck up straight to our cones, a little bit past them, and then we'll pick them up. Cool. Surprisingly, they didn't pull up and like butt up with the truck while I was removing cones. That's what they like to do.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love.
Perfect. His tools back. Didn't even need the grinder, man. I love using the grinder. Wanted to just cut stuff. Oh, might need this rain jacket soon. Guys, so we're back at the laydown yard. Bucket truck is parked, locked up. All the bins are locked up, good to go. Gonna leave her here. It's always nice and convenient to have a bucket truck not far from the job sites where we maintain a good amount of signal heads. And as you can see, we resolved the issue with that light being untethered. It is very important that those lights are tethered down properly, because high winds can cause a lot of damage and even knock down the traffic signals themselves. And now over the weekend and during this storm, we shouldn't have any concerns or issues to worry about with those traffic lights. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.